Hi. It's good to see you guys. Hi, Skull. Hi, Curtis.
Hi, Rico.
Thanks for joining me, sir.
No problem.
Let's give them our normal thing and let them know what's going on. So, hi everybody. So, just for anybody who's new here, which people are still trickling in. There's not a lot of people yet. The whole first part of this show, Curtis, Skull, Aquatics, and myself, we're just going to have a conversation. We're not going to be looking at chat at all. If you say hi, you ask questions, we're not going to see them. The second half, we will go ahead and open it up to the chat, and you guys can ask questions and find out more about Curtis. Yeah, what was I going to say? I already lost my train of thought. It's already off the rails.
An hour might be stretching it for me.
Now we're gonna dig in. We're gonna find out what makes you tick. Oh, I know. If mods, if you would please, in case somebody does, ask questions or whatever, comes in and says hi, whatever, just remind them, especially if it's a new person, that's how the program works. I just hate when people feel like they're being ignored and not a part of things. So, all right, let's go ahead. And you know what? I'm not even going to look at the chat is gone. I can't even see it. So they're going to talk bad about us. Can you see the chat?
Yeah, I can see it.
Well, he can still see it, guys. So, just talk bad about me. Leave Curtis out of it. All right.
I'm not good at keeping up with it, but
okay. First of all, again, thank you so much, Curtis, for joining us. I had 2 cancellations for tonight, and you were on my list. I have a list of people that I'm getting ready to ask to come up, and so I thought it was perfect. I've been wanting to interview you for a while, though. You sort of you were always a super nice guy. Every time I go into a stream, you're saying, "Hey, Rico," you're saying hi. You say hi to everybody. I love that. But I didn't know anything really about you until you came up for Vinay's auctions and showed us all those amazing fish you had. And we got to learn a little bit more about you. So that was when I added you to my list. Was that first time we talked to you on a stream?
The night that I was late.
Yeah, but you were still here, and you donated some amazing fish for Vinay's auction. We really still appreciate that to this day. So, okay, so let's see. What do I know about you? Really, not a lot. I know you're in Kansas, right? Closer to the Colorado side.
Yeah, clear down in western Kansas, southwestern Kansas.
So I only know, I think 3. Yourself, Mikey, Mike, and Crystal, I think, are the only Kansasans. What do you? Kansan? What? Yeah. Kansasians. Kansasites.
M&C's here.
Oh, that's right. M&C. Okay. Now, have you? I was going to say, have you met any of them? But I also just saw you at Aquashella, so you have met some of them. Not the Kansasans, but other fish fan people you've met because you just got to go to Aquashella.
Yeah,
right?
First time.
Good time.
I got to meet everybody.
Had to be a good time, right?
Oh yeah.
What was your favorite part of it?
Just meeting everybody I watch on here, of course.
Yeah. I mean, that's what everybody says, and it's what we all feel. It is. So, was there any part of it that you didn't care for?
The little light show at the beginning, I really didn't. That didn't do anything for me.
No.
Might have if I was 10, but
yeah, you didn't, huh? A lot of people really like that. It's just it was a little too cartoony for you or something, or what was it?
Yeah,
that's really.
I mean, it was all right, but it's like walk through it once. That's good. You're done.
And obviously I've never been to an Aquashella, but I've seen that entranceway so many times now that
I actually skipped it at the beginning because if you get the VIP pass, you get in earlier than the early entrance and 2 hours earlier than the normal entrance.
Oh, okay.
So if you've seen the line for Corey, that's 60 people, right? I buzzed right on by that thing and went over to Corey's booth. And there were 6 people. There were 6 people in front of me.
Now, who all was at Corey's booth this year?
Corey, Zenzo, Irene, and Dean.
That's a great combination right there. That's yeah, those are all 4 people that I definitely on my short list of people to meet.
Irene surprised me because I had to look up at her.
Yeah, she's tall, right? She's like 6 something, I think, or maybe right at 6 foot.
She's probably 6'2".
Yeah, because you don't think that.
I'm 6 foot, and it was just like, oh, hi, Irene.
Because she doesn't seem. She's so cute, and I don't know. You just think she's little for some reason. I don't know why, but you just assume that. But I've heard that from other people.
And I went to her talk, and it was very good.
What was her talk based on? What was the point of it?
It was getting your tank in balance.
Oh, okay.
With your lights, fertilizers, plants, so that you weren't growing an algae farm. She did really good, and she showed examples of this is my tank. Look how ugly this was.
And I think that might have been her first talk, at least at Aquashella, because I know she went to the Orlando one, but I think it might have been her first talk.
Might have been.
Out of all those people, no offense, Corey, no offense, Zenzo, Dean's probably number 1. I want to meet Dean the most and hang out with Dean. Irene is second, Corey third. Sorry, guys.
And the good part is by like Sunday afternoon, the crowd had died down. So I did get to spend time, like, 5 or 10 minutes a piece just talking to them.
Nice.
Which is pretty cool.
Man, I wish they were going to the Keystone Clash. Corey said maybe next year they'll at least have some representation at the Clash, since they can't. It didn't work out this year with everything. So, are you now? Is that your first big fish event too?
That's my only fish event I've been to.
Any fish swaps or anything? There's
nothing here except for me, and there's a guy that's about 30 minutes away from me, and another one's about an hour away. And they're cichlid guys.
Oh yeah.
They're always texting me, "Hey, do you want 20 Jack Dempsey's?" No. Sure don't.
Well, what size? Maybe that's a good dinner. Those might be good eating. I heard Oscar tastes good. Those are Jack Dempsey's. Are they related to Oscar? I don't know. That's probably stupid, but I feel like they're somewhere close.
I'm not a cichlid person at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had some, but
well, we'll get into that. I was going to say which ones, but we'll get into there. Okay, so you live in Kansas. Has that always been home? Have you lived around the United States, or is Kansas?
Well, this is my hometown.
Yeah, you born and raised and stayed there.
Yeah, I was actually grown up on a farm about 20 miles from here.
Yeah, farm boy. Okay.
Farm boy. So yeah, I know all about milking cows and all that.
Also, dairy farm. Did you drive tractors too and stuff, or?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, all of it.
Driving Grandpa's truck when you're 10 years old, and it's a 3 on the tree.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Wow. Yeah. I don't even think they make those anymore.
I hope not.
Yeah, that's a good point. So then we know what your first job was, working on the farm.
Yeah.
Was the farm? Were your parents farmers as well, or was it? You said grandpa. So
no, it was my grandparents, but
okay. But you grew up there.
We spent a lot of time there because of free labor, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got 3 brothers, and they're all older, so.
A lot of okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And is there anything at all that you miss about the farm?
I miss a lot of it. Just being out there where it's nice and quiet, and you could sit out in the yard in the evenings. The only thing you might hear from where they lived, at midnight you'd hear the train whistles.
Yeah.
But no sirens, no traffic.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Just peaceful.
Yeah, just no man-made sounds, right? Just the cicadas or whatever bugs were around at that time, or
dogs.
I love that. We have that here, and I do that makes a big difference because I've lived in a lot of big cities, and it is far better in my mind to live in a rural area like this where you can not hear anybody, not see another car for hours. I just absolutely love it.
And it's crazy because I like that seclusion, but then when I go to work, it's a total opposite.
You mean you like it more, or just that work is totally?
Well, I like being out there. Being on the tractor alone was fun.
Yeah.
You could just drive along and think, daydream, because you don't have to work very hard driving a tractor.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then
There's not a lot.
I go to work and I work with 3,000 people.
Wow. What do you do for a living?
I'm the senior maintenance supervisor in an industrial plant.
Okay. Wow. So do you still do a lot of hands-on stuff, or are you mostly telling people what to do?
I like to tell people what to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have to do it myself because you can't have the equipment down for very long. So you just have to, tell them get out of the way. I'll do it, and I'll explain it to you later.
Yeah. Or watch what I do for next time, but this is how you do it. I've been in that situation for sure. And so what industry is it again? What exactly do they do there? What kind of?
It's a packing house.
Oh, okay.
One of the largest packing houses in the world.
Wow. Okay. So a lot of conveyor belts, a lot of
thousands. Okay. Thousands.
Yeah. So I've worked in that situation as well. I was the guy who, I did the software and stuff for all of that. I maintained it and made sure everything worked, and also had to, calibrate the sensors, the little lasers and stuff on the conveyor and stuff like that. Make sure, because we had the big sorting bed. Do you have to deal with that? Like a big sorting bed where stuff comes from different places and it sorts it all and shoots it out to different places.
Yeah, it's all run by computers.
Yeah. Do you maintain that too? Do you have to work on that as well?
I don't work on it very often, but I can. I mean, like right now, they're shorthanded, so once in a while, I get a call on the radio and it says, "Hey, can you run over there and do this or that?"
Yeah. It's amazing. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
I want to say those guys act like they're really working hard, and it was like, man, I would rather have your guys' job than a mechanic's job.
Yeah. It wasn't physically, it wasn't a tough job. I mean, mine wasn't a massive building like what you sounds like you're describing, but it was a very, very interesting setup, and it brought cases of liquor and bottles of liquor and all this stuff from different places, and then sent it down to trucks all at the right time. Yeah. So it was loaded into the truck so that stop number 1 was at the very back of the truck, and the very first part. It was amazing how it sorted it, and it was super interesting. So I do sort of miss that a little bit. It was a fun job.
It's interesting because we have a lot of robotics and automation.
Do you? So like, give me an example of something that's robotic that some kind of picking or cutting or what?
The latest thing we have is a saw. It's a robot saw.
It sounds sort of scary.
Yeah, that as the product comes by, the laser eyes you're talking about line it up where it needs to make the cut, and it does it by itself with hydraulic cylinders. Wow. So every piece may not be the same, so it can continually adjust them to make the right cut.
Yeah.
And there's a machine that does all the grading.
All the what?
Grading, like select and choice.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It has, I don't know, 1 million images in it, and it looks at the ribeye, and it automatically picks what grade of beef it is.
See, that's amazing. That is awesome. I love it. And I know some people are like, well, people used to do that, and people lost jobs because of that. But that's what happens. You got to continue to grow like that and bring in more of that kind of stuff. Yeah. Where does it end?
Everything we've put in like that, the people didn't lose their job. We just moved them somewhere else, and they do a different job. Because we can never have enough employees. No, it's hard to bring people in, or just is there a lot of You probably don't know. I mean, you don't do a lot of HR stuff, I imagine, but being a supervisor, you might. I do. Is there a lot of turnover on your team? No. We're going off on a tangent. We're learning way more about your job than about you, but I'm very interested. So no, it's probably one of the highest paying jobs in this part of the state. Okay. So you see those ads where it says, if you don't have to go to college to make X amount of dollars. It's true. We have maintenance men that make $70,000, $80,000, and they only work 4 days a week. They have 3 days off, and they make 70 grand.
I hear a lot of people moving to Kansas all of a sudden.
Yeah. There's four packing houses within 100 miles. There's a dairy plant, and there's a coal-fired generator plant. So there's lots of industrial type jobs.
Are those all related, same company or anything, or are they different companies? Or
they're all different companies.
Okay. I was curious if it was one, mega corporation that did all of that stuff, or if it was.
It's a lot of mega corporations competing for the same livestock.
Yeah. Gotcha. All right, we'll shift gears. We'll get away from the work a little bit. Well, although we'll go back and talk about your work history a little bit and learn different things you did. You mentioned though that you've been in Kansas your whole life. Is there have you visited a lot of other places? Obviously, you've been to Texas. Have you visited a lot of other places? And where do you like to travel?
I've been to every state, I think, except for 10, something like that. Been to Canada, been to Mexico.
Kansas, your favorite? I mean, I know you live there, but is your favorite?
No.
Or is it just home?
It depends. Certain seasons, in the summertime, I love the Black Hills of South Dakota.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
What's I've never been there. Unfortunately, I know Black Hills Gold and stuff.
It's not as rocky as like the Rocky Mountains.
Yeah,
it's still a version of mountains, but it's lots of trees. It's just beautiful scenery, long winding roads, and
I've never been through that area. It's not super flat like Kansas. Well, actually, Kansas is not super flat. It's just that it's not like this. It's like this.
Yeah, it's rolling.
I think you start out at one of the lowest spots in the United States and go to a higher spot. I remember reading something about that Kansas wasn't as flat. Nebraska incredibly flat, right? But no, Kansas isn't near as flat as I always thought. At least there's something to it. I don't remember. I need to look it up. My memory's not the best.
I gotta grab this dog.
Sure, no problem. Can we see him? Doggy.
He'll scare everybody.
Thanks, Rack, too. Appreciate that $5 super chat from my buddy Rack. Oh.
He scares people because he's blind.
Oh, what's his name?
Steve.
Steve? That's awesome. Is he missing a leg, too? Or was it just folded up?
I'm holding his legs.
Oh, okay, because it looked like he was missing a leg, too.
No.
Oh, hi, Steve. Oh.
No, he can't hear you.
He can't. Oh, so he's deaf and blind?
Yeah.
Wow.
But every time I take him to the vet, she says he's perfectly healthy, except he can't see and he can't hear.
And have you had him since he was a puppy?
Yeah. Yeah, my father-in-law used to breed Chihuahuas, so.
Poor little guy. We have a Chihuahua Papillon mix. In fact, she's outside. Oh yeah, my wife and my wife's aunt are outside. Sorry, I was a little distracted. They're in the garden area, so I heard her barking out there. So, how old is he? How old is Steve? I love the name.
18. He's
8?
18.
Oh, 18. Oh, wow. See, I know a lot of people don't like little dogs, but they do usually, just like people. Little people seem to last longer. So do little animals. The smaller size dogs seem to, not always. I mean, it's not a hard and fast rule, but generally speaking, smaller dogs do live longer than bigger dogs. 18 years old. And how was he? I think I asked this, but was he always deaf and blind, or did he go?
No, that happened. That happened about 2 years ago.
Just suddenly, or was it like it just gradually got there?
It was gradually, because it got to, you would let him outside and I would yell for him to come in the house. And sometimes he would, sometimes he wouldn't. And then pretty soon he wouldn't even move because he didn't hear you.
Oh, somebody once said that about a dog going deaf, that they just the dog itself, it hit them that the dog itself just thinks you're not talking to it anymore. It doesn't understand. So, and that just sort of broke my heart because I love dogs. I just absolutely love them.
He's got like a sixth sense. I don't know where he gets it because he can tell when there's a storm.
Oh
He
yeah,
just loses his mind when there's a thunderstorm coming.
he's a weather dog.
And he's deaf and blind, but when I come in the garage and open the back door, he starts yelping.
Yeah,
And only when I come home.
Yelping like he wants to see you, or yelping like,
just,
oh man, he's here.
Well, he knows I'm here and I'm coming down here because I pretty much keep him in here in the fish room to keep him away from old Yeller over there. He doesn't try to hurt him, but he's such a big clumsy dog. He'll step on him and he gets excited. And,
just the two dogs?
I don't know. It's animal rescue world around here.
Oh, is it? What do you have? Walk us through what I mean, is there a bunch?
There's 4 dogs and 3 cats.
Okay.
All the cats are. One just wandered over here, and my wife took it in because he never would leave. And the other ones, they got one from the Humane Society, and the other one my son found as a kitten by the middle school, and we never could find the mom, so we still have that cat.
And what about the dogs? Were the dogs all like that too? Rescues that you found or were given, or did you purposely go out and get any of them?
The big dog was one of my son's girlfriends, and she didn't take him to get shots and everything. So he got parvo. So we just pretty much just took the dog from her.
Yeah. Come here, dude. Oh, poor Steve. Our Chihuahua does that too, though. She's only like 4 years old, 3 or 4, somewhere around there. And she just recently started making this weird little
whiny sound.
Boop. Well, it's not even a whine. It's like boop. It's a weird little when she wants to be picked up, and because we have leather couches and they're up a little high, but we let the dogs on there. We don't care. And she has trouble getting up on there, so she has to be picked up to be put on there. And just recently, like in the last couple of weeks, she started doing this weird it's not a whine. It's like, hey, help. Yeah. It's a weird little noise. She just started doing it out of the blue. It was weird. Yeah. I love dogs, though.
It's
not a howl. Go ahead.
We got a cat like that stands by the door, and I swear that cat's saying out. The way it meows, it sounds just like out. And you open the door, he takes off in the backyard, and an hour later, he comes back.
Out. And do you have favorites?
I like the big clumsy one, probably.
Yeah. And is it really Old Yeller? Is that the name, or?
No, his name is Rex, but he looks just, in my mind, he looks just like that dog from the movie.
Yeah. Sad movie.
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to watch it again to compare them.
No. It's hard. It's hard losing an animal. I think I was more, and this is going to sound horrible. But I'm going to say it anyways. I'm pretty sure I was more upset about losing Tucker, my buddy, than I was losing either one of my parents. I know it sounds bad, but there's reasons there. There's reasons.
Yeah.
Just absolutely, dogs are definitely very important to me. Okay, so anyways, South Dakota, you said, right? That's a place where you'd really. So if you had any place, let's just say the world, if there's any place in the world, and have you been out of the country besides Canada?
I went to Puerto Rico.
Okay, well that's part of the country.
Yeah, kind of.
Well, I mean, it's part of the country. It's just not a state, but it is. So I've never been there too. I'd love to go to Puerto Rico. Love to go. Any place in the world, any place you'd like to go, where would it be? Where to stay for an extended period of time? You don't have to live there, but let's say you go there for 6 months. Any place in the world, where would it be?
I'd probably say Japan.
Yeah, why? What about Japan would?
Just to see the culture and all the gardens, all the technology and everything else. Just to see, it's completely different than being in the United States.
Yeah, it is. I mean,
and I'm not going to China. So.
Yeah, I mean, I've never bought underwear from a vending machine, so that would be interesting. That the technology, you're right, is very definitely. But they, no, never mind. I'm not going to show that shirt. I gave away a shirt today. If you were on the stream today, people, you saw it. It was an anime shirt that I was sent. So Japan would be the place you would like to see the most, and it's really just the technology, and they definitely have a different culture. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And every time you look at like the touristy stuff, it's all beautiful gardens and ponds. And
yeah,
it'd be neat to see.
And it's surprising how much snow they get in the north part of the country. I mean, like 20 feet of snow. They have to like dig out. I mean, it's just a massive amount. And you just don't think of that part of the country as getting that much snow. It's weird. Yeah. But yeah, it's pretty cold. I'm in the north part of the country. So, okay. And what about just in the United States? If you could pick one place, would it be Kansas? I mean, we're talking, you've got unlimited funds. You've got unlimited. There's nothing stopping you. Would Kansas be the place that you would stay?
It'd probably be somewhere more mountainy.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be like Denver or Colorado Springs, but it would be somewhere.
Maybe like South Dakota or something like that.
Probably in the foothills, but not up at 8,000, 9,000 feet.
Yeah. So you're a mountain person. I noticed you didn't really say beaches or water or anything like that. That's not an important part though. Streams or rivers or lakes. You'd rather live in the mountains.
Yeah. I've been to the California beaches in Florida and the Gulf. They're cool, but I don't know I don't know that I want to live there.
Yeah, the mountains are more your speed. That's more where you would like to go. I gotcha. Yeah, that's interesting. I know people are very different that way. I would never want to live away from water again. I absolutely love having the lake right there, and it's a whole different environment. And I mean, I've lived in Phoenix, and there's mountains all around it.
Yeah. That's quite the contrast from there to Flagstaff.
Oh yeah, big time. Oh yeah. And if I had to move back to Arizona, it probably would be like Sedona or Flagstaff or somewhere up there. That's so much better up there as far as weather goes. Up on the Mogollon Rim.
Yeah.
That's definitely the place to go. You've been all over Phoenix or all over Arizona then?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you travel a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that like, I was going to start talking about hobbies. Is traveling sort of like a hobby for you? Is it something you really enjoy doing?
No, it's just stuff that to do other hobbies, we travel to do them.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. So it's a means to an end. It's not the end of the road, the traveling itself. It's because you want to go that place and do something.
Yeah. Because oh man. From the time my youngest son was 6 until he was out of high school and he went to wrestling college, we went to wrestling tournaments every weekend.
Okay.
And the better you get, the more you have to travel to get your name out. But he's wrestled on the boardwalk in Atlantic City, and he's wrestled in Vegas, and
wow,
he's wrestled in Daytona Beach and Dallas, and so me going to Dallas, I've been there quite a few times.
Yeah. And is he still in college?
No, he graduated 2 years ago.
And is wrestling still a big part of his life? Does he still do anything? And is he involved in any kind of wrestling coaching or anything these days?
Not yet.
No.
He's a gym rat. He's at the gym. He's at the gym every day. But I know it's just a matter of time, especially when he has kids. He'll be fully involved. He's a certified coach, so he can. Okay.
I don't like him. I don't like him one bit. Gym rat. Just makes me feel bad. Makes me feel bad about myself. Thanks.
I'm not a gym rat, but I'm a certified coach. So.
For what? Different sports, or do you get certified just as a coach, or is it different sports, or how does that work?
You can get certified through USA Wrestling.
Okay.
You have to take classes.
Okay. So wrestling is it. That's the main sport that you guys are involved in.
Yeah.
Or were.
I took a big step back from it when he took off for college, because it had been, even in kids wrestling, it was 3 times a week practice. Well, since I was a coach, I was at the beginner practice, the medium practice, and then I was at the advanced practice. So I was there 3 or 4 hours every practice.
Yeah.
And then on Saturdays we would travel.
So it's a full-time job.
It was a full-time job.
Yeah.
And I told him, I'll be back someday, but I want to take 4 or 5 years, and I'm not traveling every weekend. I'm not doing none of that.
Yeah. Just relaxing. Just the one kid, the one son, or do you have other kids?
No, I have a daughter who's 31.
Okay.
And a son that's 29 and one that's 22.
Okay, that's the same layout I have, my same configuration, except my daughter's the middle one. 2 boys and a girl. Yeah. And are any of them still at home?
No, they're not even in this. Well, they're in the state, but they're not even close.
No.
6-hour drive.
Home. 2 of mine are still home. So, do you see them often still, or?
Oh yeah, that's part of our traveling is.
Okay. All right.
Probably every other month, one of us or both of us goes and sees the grandkids and the kids.
Yeah. Man, I still don't have grandkids. Not a single one. All 3 of my kids. My daughter's married. My son's just about married. He's engaged, and they own a house together. They've lived together forever. My youngest son's in a committed relationship, 3 years, 4 years now. No grandkids. Not a single one. I'd make an amazing grandfather.
I got 2 grandsons and another one on the way.
Nice. Another grandson on the way, or
yeah, grandson.
Gotcha. So back to the hobbies and the traveling and stuff. Was it just wrestling, or was there other hobbies that you guys did as well that you traveled to do? I know Rack is here, so like bird watching or anything like that. Do you get into any of that kind of stuff?
In the last few years, it's been car shows.
Car shows, okay.
Yeah.
Like what kind? Anything specific, or just a general car show?
We'll go to the general car shows and enter her car, and then we go to the Volkswagen specific ones and enter.
That's right. I remember you said that you were Volkswagen. Now, what kind of bug does she have, or what kind of Volkswagen does she have?
She has the 72 Super Beetle.
Okay. I had one. Mine was a 71.
Yeah.
71, but it was a Super Beetle. I think 71 was the first year.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. And is it like restored, or is it, a show bug, or what? How's it?
It's not even close to restored.
No.
No.
It's just all natural.
It's all leather interior. I lowered it.
Oh, okay. So show bug. Okay.
Done all the suspension. Has all the chrome. Yeah. I will never paint a car that color again in my life.
What color is it?
It's hand rubbed oil bronze. So on a normal day, it has that faded black look like a rat rod has. But the paint is designed to put mineral oil on it, and it turns it that glossy, dark browns.
Gotcha. And was it difficult to do? Is that why you don't want to do it again, or?
It was a lot of layers. Like in between the layers, you had the wet sand.
Gotcha. Just a lot of work.
Yeah, and then painting a Beetle is hard anyway because they're round both ways.
Yeah.
It's like painting a basketball.
Yeah. I never painted one. I had it done. My very last one was a show bug, and I had it done. What was the engine in that one? It was a 1776 CCs. 1776 CCs. I've had a bunch of them, though, but most of mine were Bajas. Again, living in Arizona, a lot of off-roading, so we had mostly Bajas. Is she the one that's into the bugs the most, or are you interested in them as well? Or
it's something she stole from me.
Okay.
I had one years ago in high school, just as a toy. I had a sandrail and I had another bug. They were just like yours. They were just toys.
Yeah, because they're not a reliable vehicle, really. I mean, you can, but they really are more of a hobby. And thank you, Mark. Rico opens up. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I saw that, Mark.
Well, and that's what I told you before we started. She's not even here. She's working on her car.
So she enjoys working on them as well. I mean, she does mechanical stuff on them and changes stuff out, and
she did the whole interior because I told her I don't have the patience for like putting a headliner in.
Yep.
And the carpet you have to cut around the shifter and all the heater vents and get it just right, or you screw it up. And it's like, you don't want me doing it.
Yeah.
I can do the mechanical and paint, but
not that stuff.
Not the decorative pieces.
Yeah. I had somebody do most of that stuff. I wasn't even that good of a mechanic either. I mean, I wasn't, but I taught myself stuff. I know I could lift up one of those engines by myself at one point, and I know I could take it out. It took about 45 minutes, I think, was the total time it would take me to take an engine out of the Baja, because the Baja was so easy because it was lifted up in the back. It was just a cage around the motor. I mean, everything was just right there. You let's see, you disconnected the fuel line, disconnected electrical. There was 4 bolts to the transaxle. I remember taking out those long bolts from the transaxle, little by little, pulling that right out and lifting up the engine all by myself.
It's like what, 4 wires and a fuel line.
Yeah. And then the bolts for the transaxle, and that's it. And you got an engine free of the vehicle. But they are pretty, like windshield wiper fluid, right? That's pressurized by the spare tire, right? That. So there's little things like that.
Yeah, mine's not.
We're ahead of its time,
Mine's not. I put electric pump on it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
So it actually works.
It actually works. Yeah. And
I can smell it.
She has like the underglow lights underneath the car. She can play music and the lights change.
Oh yeah.
The interior, nice. The interior's got lights in it.
That sounds nice.
I keep telling her if I charged her by the hour, that's like a $20,000 car just in labor.
And does she drive it regularly at all, or is it really just for the shows or stuff, or is it?
She drives it all the time.
Oh, really? It's like her daily driver.
Yeah, she'll jump in and drive it to Iowa to see my son.
Yeah. And
she's going down the highway with all the lights on underneath in the middle of the night. She's crazy.
You don't see as many, Arizona, there used to be just junkyards filled of just Volkswagens. That's all they had in there. And there would just be acres and acres of old Bugs and buses and, just whatever. Yeah. And, you really just don't.
If you see any now, you better buy them.
Yeah.
I've seen some old buses that the floors are gone and there's no engine, no transaxle in there. $10,000.
Volkswagen Tattoo.
Okay.
That's how much I was into them back then. I remember we talked about this. Now, did you guys ever have a bus?
I've never had a bus.
Yeah. Did you have you wanted to get one?
If I can find one, I'm going to get one.
Yeah. One of those, what are they called? The 21 window, the Safari windows? I can't remember what they're called.
The 21 window is the one that has them on the roof.
Yeah.
The Safari window is the windshield opens.
That's up. Okay. That's what it was. Yeah. It's been so long, I forgot what the differences were. Someday, I don't know. I probably never. I'm too lazy now because you just have to do too much maintenance on it. In fact, I traded my very last one, which it was a show bug. I never won anything with it, but I would take it to the bug-ins and stuff. And I traded that to a friend of mine for a 240Z, a Datsun 240Z. And like 6 months later, I saw my buddy and he was driving something else. I was like, "Where's my bug?" And he said, "It burned. It burned down. It burned the ground." I don't know. He just didn't keep up. I don't know what it was. The gas lines weren't original. They were all replaced, so they weren't brittle. I know that was a common thing.
The newer lines that aren't the German braided ones, you have to change them about once a year.
See, and maybe that's what it was. I don't remember. It's been. I mean, this is 1987. I don't know, somewhere around there. No, that couldn't have been because I actually traded it. It had to be like 1992.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there.
There's a long piece of fuel line that comes around the side of the engine. I changed all that and put steel tubing in there. So altogether, I might have 2 inches of tubing, one to each side of the fuel pump and a little piece on the carburetor just hook the tubing up. So
yeah,
trying to get away from the fire.
Yeah, much safer.
And I have fire extinguishers, so
Yeah.
all my old cars have fire extinguishers.
I guess that's smart. I never, but I never had those issues. I kept up on stuff pretty good because, again, it was a hobby car. It wasn't, you know, the Bajas were a lot more fun, just because skid plate underneath. So, the master cylinder up there was in the front left driver's side.
Yeah.
The master cylinder for the brakes was like the only thing that was even closely exposed. Everything else was hidden. So you hit a rock or something, you don't have to worry about it. I had all kinds of dents in the bottom of that thing from hitting, heavy rocks and stuff out four-wheeling.
That's like the first sandrail I had. I put that metal mesh screen in the bottom for the floorboard.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. It didn't take me long. I made it a full piece of sheet metal because all the dirt and little pebbles and stuff flying up beat you to death.
Man, I want one of those so bad now. A sandrail or a dune buggy or whatever. I would love to have one of those again. Wonder Bug, I think they were called, the dune buggy style.
I have a version of that in the garage that I'm working on.
Yeah, you're gonna, Christmas isn't that far away. I'm just saying, if you feel, generous, somebody to really take care of it.
I've got it almost all done except the interior. Let me see.
We're gonna see one here. Let's put you.
Well, it's on my phone. Too many photos.
64 people watching. Again, I don't even have the chat open. I can't see the chat at all. Appreciate you guys all hanging out with us. We're gonna go for another, 20 minutes or so, and then we'll open it up to you guys to ask questions. All right, let's put you. Oh yeah, there we go. Look at that. That's it right there. Oh, it's beautiful. That is beautiful. Oh, so much. I could smell it. A lot of those old Volkswagens had the same, there's something about them. I mean, a lot of old cars smell that way, but especially the Volkswagens, they had a certain, I don't know what it was. Maybe something they used on the interior. I don't know, but they all smelled the same to me.
Like gas?
Well, yeah, sometimes. The one Baja I had, again, that was in the 80s. So I had day glow windshield wipers and leather or leopard upholstery. And it was just the ugliest. It was a white Baja. And I took the baffle out of the pipe. So that thing, oh my God, it was so loud. My neighbor or my friend, his neighbors all got together and gave him a petition. They all signed it asking me not to drive down his road anymore. And it was a dirt road. He lived in the desert. So, they asked me not to even drive there because it was so loud.
I get away with it because the neighbor right next door has an old Pontiac Grand Prix.
Oh, yeah.
It has the hood on it about, 8 foot long. It has a 455 with a big giant carburetor. And the other neighbor's next to him, he has a Volkswagen too that's highly modified. So nobody ever says anything.
Yeah. So it's a car neighborhood. All right. So back to the hobbies and stuff. So the Volkswagen shows, you said you go to other car shows too. Is there other certain types that you guys are interested in? Is it really?
No, we'll go enter the Volkswagen against everybody's Camaros and everything else. I don't care.
Yeah. And has it won awards?
It's won awards, but it's never won like, the best in show. It's won like the best trunk or the best interior.
Got you.
That's always funny to watch those guys when because I always put her name on it too. So when they're naming the names, they call her name out. She goes and gets the trophy, and I just stand there laughing. Yeah,
it's eating them up.
Sucks to be you guys. You got beat by one.
There's a Chevy Nova over there. The guy's just like,
yeah,
Volkswagen.
They had one. It didn't start till like 9 o'clock, but you had to line up because there were no reserved spaces. You just had to pick your best spot.
Oh, gotcha.
So I'm in line because I get to drive it to the car show, and I get to drive it in parades, and otherwise it's our car. I get the crappy job. But I'm waiting in the line, and all these guys have their cars running, and I shut mine off. It's air-cooled.
Yeah.
So they finally open the gate and we all go in, and I park next to this guy in this old beautiful Firebird. And as soon as he shuts it off, the steam just comes pouring out of it where it overheated. So, being a dick, I walked around there and said, "Man, I hate it when my Volkswagen does that." He just looked at me like, "Get away from me."
Did he have a sense of humor about it at least, or was he?
He did later.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came over later and he's like, "Yeah, that was the wrong time."
Yeah.
It's like, no.
There was some water cooled ones later on, though, wasn't there? I believe like 75 or something like that. Maybe they were only the ones from Mexico, maybe.
They started making all the vans water cooled.
Okay, yeah. We did a deep dive on cars there. Hopefully we didn't drive away any non-car people. And today I'm not a car person I have no interest in cars at all. I don't even like to be in a car. I have no interest in it. But I got that tattoo when I was like 22, 23, something like that. That's all it was about was Volkswagens for the longest time. I've had it like 7 of them, I think. Most of them were all Bajas, but I did have a couple I had the Super Beetle. That was my very first one, 71 or 72. And then, I had a show bug, and then all the rest of them were Bajas, and they were so much fun. I loved, KC lights. I just would drill a hole right through the roof, put them right in, silicone the hell. It's Arizona, you don't really have to worry about leakage too much. It's not going to rain very often, so I just drilled a hole right through the roof, put the KC lights in, siliconed it shut, and it looked like Mickey Mouse, because it had that tail coming from the pipe coming up, and it had those lights. I do miss that little car, except for the one time the brakes went out on it. That wasn't fun. That wasn't fun. Just out of the blue. I don't know. I still don't know what happened. Just I had no brakes when I went to stop once.
Yeah.
So let's get away from those. Let's get away from the cars. Other hobbies. So obviously we know you're a fish keeper. You've got some rare fish, especially Goodeids, right? Goodeids is your main thing in your fish room. Yeah.
Goodeids and Limias.
Yeah. Which again, we'll talk after maybe next March or something. If you have something available, I'll be coming to you March, April, sometime around there, I think is when I'll be ready to start buying again.
I owe a bunch of people fish right now, but it's just too hot.
Yeah.
Gotcha. It's 7 o'clock at night and it's 96 degrees.
It's almost 8 o'clock here and it's still 70. The high today was 70. So it was a beautiful, beautiful day. I have a fan on right here blowing on me. It was a beautiful day today.
Got to come down a little, and then I probably got 100 fish. I got to get out of here quick.
Gotcha. Well, I'll be approaching you next spring, and I won't be in any hurry too. So if you're still behind by then, I won't be in any hurry. So you got plenty of time. But I've seen some of your fish. Again, thank you so much for joining in with the Vinay auction stuff and donating all those that you did. I know a lot of people were super happy with what they got. What else? Go ahead.
A lot of them have them breeding now too. So
yeah. See, that's what I like about it too, is that they, I love guppies, but I'm over guppies. I just am. And I like that, a live bear. I want some more live bearers, but I like how slow that they are. So it's a little more manageable.
Well, and guppies are actually a huge part of these fish's problem, because somebody has released guppies into their natural habitat, and they outcompeted. They're actually outcompeting these guys.
Yeah, because of how fast they breed, probably. Now, are most of the Goodeids you have on the CARES list?
Yeah, all of them.
All of them. Okay, I thought so.
They change whether they're endangered or they're extinct, because there's continuing efforts to always take them back.
Yeah.
Like right now, behind me, the tequilas, they've taken them back. I think it's 6 times now to try to reestablish them. And right now, it is working.
Oh, okay.
It's still working. That was 2 years ago.
Where are they from? Where's that for those ones specifically? Where?
They were from the Rio Chuchalan,
Okay.
and they're called tequilas because their stream is right underneath the volcano Tequila.
Ooh. I didn't even know there was a volcano named Tequila.
It's a volcano in Mexico named Tequila.
I did not know that. I thought I knew at least a little bit. That's some. I learned something new.
And a lot of them have some super cool stories, and I keep thinking there's a video idea, and then I never do it. But it's like the tequilas, 2000, I don't know, 4, 5, somewhere, long time ago, when they were first classified extinct, they couldn't find any anywhere. Nobody had them in their home aquariums, no universities. They found them finally in a gentleman's fish room in England.
Wow.
And he took his fish and went to Mexico and turned them over to him. And that's where it all took off again.
Wow. See, that's so far everything in my fish room has just been basically for fun. I want to give the fish a good life. I enjoy watching them. I enjoy putting the tanks together. It's just been for fun. But that is a purpose that I can get behind, you know, and I think I'm sort of shifting gears now. I've only been keeping fish for a couple of years, but I think I'm at that point where I want to do something different. And that sounds like the thing to do is maybe help out with those types of efforts.
And I've done all of that I've done all the guppies, swordtails, angelfish.
Yeah.
I've bred thousands and thousands of bristlenose. And, you know, I was looking for something different.
So, and what made you land with the Goodeids? What was it about the Goodeids that just you knew that story, or what made you go that route?
5 or 6 years ago, I knew nothing about them.
Okay.
And there was a magazine article about Greg Sage. I don't know whether it was Amazonas or who it was, but it said something about this man is trying to save these extinct species in his basement. And I read that article, then I start looking. So if you go on YouTube and you type in Greg Sage, you come across a trumpet player.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, who the heck is this guy? But he is a legitimate professional trumpet player.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
See, I'm learning all kinds of stuff.
He used to be a music teacher, and he toured for like 15 years with like professional jazz bands.
And you've met him now, right? And have you? Yeah.
Yeah, I've been in his house 3 times.
Gotcha. Yeah. And you did get yours from him directly, or?
I cheat because he's about 5 hours away.
Yeah.
I don't mind driving. So, you know, we email back and forth or text once in a great while, but he's like, what are you doing Saturday? And he's like, nothing, just working in my fish room. He's like, okay, I'll see you at noon.
Nice.
And
yeah, because his name is, I mean, even I know who he is, or I know his name, I should say. You know, he's very well known that way.
He's another one that when you watch his videos and he's always sitting at his desk answering emails. And then when he opens his front door, you go, oh, hi.
Oh,
yeah, he's like 6'2" or 6'3".
Oh, gotcha.
Big old guy.
Yeah, it can be misleading when we sit here because I'm a heavy guy, and people were actually saying that I wasn't. I think my video is a little slow. I just realized I looked over. I'm a heavy guy. You know, I'm a pretty big guy, and people don't see that because I'm always sitting down. So I'm not a huge guy. I'm only 6 foot, but I'm rotund. You know, I've got some heft to me, and I think people that are going to the Keystone Clash that didn't meet me last year will be surprised. I think so. But a lot of us, you only see, like both of us right now, there's only that part, and that's all we ever show. We don't show, you know, we're not walking around too much and stuff. So, all right. So, wow, we've already talked for almost an hour. I better go ahead and bring up the chat here. Okay, there we go. And Killer Kitty again. Killer Kitty just came through with another $3 super chat. Thank you so much. Oh, and I missed the other ones. There was one from Mark, I think, or was it a member? Oh, there it is. $5. And thank you, Mark, for that too. What you just said. That's exactly it. When we do open it up, make sure you do the at Rico stand for me. Is there anything you have going on? Any videos coming out that you'd like to talk about, or anything YouTube related? Because I like these to be a little promotional for you guys as well. I mean, a lot of people just aren't. Most of us aren't interested in growing our channels all that much, but it's still part of it, right? So is there anything going on that you'd like to tell people about and keep your eyes peeled?
I need to do one or two or three, but I use a dry fertilizer.
Okay. Which one do you use?
I get it from Greg.
Oh, okay.
It's his mix. He makes his own.
Okay.
There's another whole story I'm not going to tell on the internet about who is all involved in that, but I mean, it's very good. I mean, I have a 29 I'm looking at right now, and the crypta's almost to the top. You know, the cryptis. And that's the only thing that's ever been in that tank is that fertilizer. But I had to work at it because the instructions he gives you is to make a gallon.
Okay.
So I kept weaning it down until I have it in a pump, just like everybody else.
Yeah.
And I figured out the little recipe that works for me.
Is that something that you can get from Greg Sage normally, or is it more for people? Does he sells it normally?
Sells it on his website.
Okay. Do you happen to know that off the top of your head? Is it gregsage.com or is it
selectaquatics.com?
Selectaquatics.com. Oh, I've been there.
Okay.
Yeah, because I used to get him confused with the other guy, Stephen Conroy, because his is like Select SC or something like that.
Yeah.
And I used to get those two confused. I've been there.
He sells a version of like a safe. It's a powder dechlorinator. Comes in a big Ziploc bag for like a pound of it. But I've been using for $30. I think it's 30 still. You get the fertilizer and the shipping for under $30. And I've been using the same container for over a year.
Oh, hold on a second. I got a guest. She's bringing me some water. Hold on one second.
Uh-oh.
Entrez-vous?
Entrez-vous. You can have your water. I'll have a beer.
I got to stick to water these days. Thank you, miss. You're so good to me. Okay. Yeah, she does not. She doesn't do video, so she brought me a big mug of icy water. So I don't mind a beer now and then, but I pick my times.
I'll have a few afterward. That's about it.
Not too much beer these days, but Keystone Clash last year was probably the last time I had a hefty amount. And I'm looking forward to going back to the Keystone Clash this year too. I think it might be my that'll be my once a year thing, is at the Keystone Clash going forward. It's going to be amazing.
That's the one I want to make next year. I've seen Aquashella. The number one to make next year is the Clash, and then the next year will be going and see Kenny.
Yeah, those are great ones.
So if I can make the other ones, fine, but there's one we have to try everything to make just to see them all. Just want to see them all.
I'm with you. I would like to too. I know I won't be able to. There's no way I can for reasons, but Keystone Clash is really. I would love to go to all of them though. But just like you said, those club events are definitely the ones that I would rather go to. The Fishtoberfest, the Aquatic Con, Triple Crown, Keystone Clash. Those, I don't get me wrong. I would love to go to an Aquashella, but the ones that I really want to go to are those other ones. They just seem, I don't know. There's a difference to them, and I don't want to call them low key, but they're just different. And I definitely want to go. Okay, so you go ahead.
They're more relaxed.
I guess maybe there's less people that go to those, although the Triple Crown, I mean, but that was a big one. I don't know. Keystone Clash is going to be a blast this year, and it's become our once a year getaway. Even though it's only a few days. I mean, that's not true. We do our anniversary in October as well. But Keystone Clash, I think, is going to become a yearly tradition for sure. I love the people that put it on. I love the people that I've met there. There's nothing bad to say about it. It's a beautiful event with a bunch of beautiful people, and I absolutely love it. All right.
Not supposed to look at comments, but thanks, Austin.
Okay, so anything? So you got some videos coming out?
Yeah, and I was thinking, I have like a 9-hour drive back. I didn't really know anything about Aquashella besides, the videos that we see.
Yeah.
Would anybody want to see a video about my first time going of what I would recommend you do to get the best experience out of it your first time?
Sure. 100%. I love seeing all those different points of view. Absolutely love it.
Because I got the VIP pass, and if I wouldn't have, I would have missed a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Definitely. I don't want to say it's impossible to overdo the Aquashella stuff, but it's definitely very tough to overdo it. I think, and especially this year, it seemed like it was lighter. Maybe because I see my buddy Ed. I hope you're feeling better, Ed. I see Ed's here, and Ed wasn't there. Maybe, I get a lot of my content from Ed when he's at these events. So maybe that's why. But I really didn't see as much content this year or I shouldn't say this year, but this event as the past. So if you've got stuff to put out, yeah, please do.
And I missed a lot because I would be talking with Vibes or Texas Fish Room or something, and it'd be like, oh, yeah, Corey's talking. Or something, you just flat out miss it because there's too many things going on. But it was cool.
I did that at the Keystone Clash last year. I missed LRB Lucas. He was there speaking. I missed his talk because I don't remember what we were doing, but I know we were hanging out and totally missed it. So, okay, so now's a good time. If you would please do the @RicoStan so it pops out for me there. I can see it. If you've got questions for Curtis, I feel like we skipped over a lot of stuff. We were so busy talking about cars and everything. But if you've got any questions for him, let's light them up. Let's get some good questions. Texas Fish Room said we did have over half a day with the live stream not working. Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. Yep. They did have issues this year. And again, I think that's partly because Ed wasn't there.
Actually, the computer overheated because it was so hot.
Yeah, I heard that too. Carrie said that today, that that Rob's computer was actually smoking at one point. It was so hot.
I never saw it smoking, but it just went poof and shut off.
You never want to let the smoke out. That's always a bad thing. I was an IT guy for a long time, and if you let the smoke out, because everything's got smoke inside of it, see? And when you let the smoke out, that's a bad thing. The smoke has got to stay inside where it helps with the magical beans. Okay, so let's see. Fishing Months. I missed all the talks last class. Yes, you did. But we had a good talk, Kirk. That's all that matters. And I'm starting out. I got Texas Fish Room, so 8:02 p.m. my time. That's where I started. So if you've asked questions before that, had comments, anything like that, I missed it. That's where I'm starting at. Go ahead and please put them back in for us. So yes, Chris Aquazone. Is that Chris? Is that Plushy? Did you change your name? You said you weren't going to change anymore. If it is, I think it is. You disappoint me, sir. Chris is Aquazone. Did Skull get anything interesting in Aquashella?
I got some stuff from Sand Scales. I got some leopard frog plecos. I got some shrimp from the Garden of Eder.
Nice. What kind of shrimp?
Just the orange neos.
Okay.
And I have hundreds and hundreds of reds, so it's time for another color.
I'm right with you. I'm with you. Yep. Okay. Oh, Mark. Hi, Mark. And again, thank you so much for the $5 Aussie super chat. The Myrtle question. Okay, so the Myrtle question is a difficult one. And the Myrtle question, which we have quite a few of these questions that have some history behind them. And I absolutely love it. It's like a tradition being built. And Myrtle who hasn't been with us all summer. Hopefully he comes back soon. But Myrtle always asks the same question, and that's, what would I change about you, and what would you change about me? Yeah, it's a tough question. It really is. Because, well, first of all, we don't know each other that well. We've talked a few times. We've hung out and streamed for a year, but I don't think we know each other well. You seem like you're generally happy with your life, and genuinely, which I always have a hard time saying the word, happy as well. So if you've got something, feel free. If you've got something you change about me, but I'm trying to think of something.
I think I would make it so that you like to travel.
Yeah, I guess it is. I was gonna say it's not that I dislike to travel, but it is too. I have trouble traveling, health issues, but I also don't like to travel. I mean, I don't even go to the grocery store. So okay, so that's a good one. That's a good one. I don't know. I don't have anything. I've been disappointing Myrtle for the last like 3 or 4 times because I haven't really been able to come up with anything over the last few guests. All right, I would change the fact that you didn't offer to share a beer with me.
Oh, I would.
You kept the beer all to yourself. That's what I would change.
I got a refrigerator right there. So. You can't have a fish room without a refrigerator.
Yeah, I don't have one. Sorry, Myrtle and Mark. New Local Austin would like to know, what does Skull think Fish Fam Christmas is? There's some history there too. That's another tradition question.
I don't know. I think it's a great event. It's a great event.
It is.
What Foxy did was that was awesome too.
Yeah, she did a great job too. Michael's been asking about Fish Fam Christmas as a joke, because I used to, when I was building up to it last year, I would talk about it every single stream and make sure there was no questions, make sure people knew things. And even it still turned out that people didn't listen. I mean, I talked about it for 6 months, and there were still people upset at the end because they said that information wasn't conveyed to them. And I was like, I can only do so many live streams. I mean, I'm not going to come to your house and hammer it into your head. Anyways.
Michael's such a cool guy too.
He's one on my short list to meet. I did a focus on with him, and we're definitely kindred souls. It was fun to watch him at the doing the cornhole thing.
He's something else in person when there's no camera on.
Yeah,
he's got a whole another level or two.
I can only imagine. And one of these days, if he ever leaves Texas, I'll get to meet him.
It's awesome.
Hi, Gina. Nano Aquarium guy says, why the name Skull?
I don't know. Because at one time I only had 3 tanks in here, and I had a couch, and I have the TV on the wall. And for some reason, every time I bought an ornament, it was a skull.
Gotcha.
So when I told my youngest son, hey, I might start videotaping some things here and there and getting involved a little bit, he says, well, just make it skull. You got a damn skull in every tank anyway. Like, okay. It's nice and easy.
It is. It's very easy to find. And if the mods, I'm sure they've been dropping your link, but make sure, mods, if you would please drop the fishfam.link and his YouTube and all those special things for him, please. Let's see. Jimmy P says, Skully's a very special friend. I just want him to know I'm watching. Thanks for having him on. Here we go.
Yeah.
That's from Jimmy. There we go.
Jimmy's
and thanks for watching, Jimmy. Chattanooga Ed, I hope you're feeling better, man. Can you please ask Skull if he would rather live in a crab boat or an abandoned mall? That is out there.
Probably an abandoned mall. Can you imagine what you could do with that space?
Yeah, but I don't know. Living on a crab boat would be sort of cool too. I mean, does it have to be a working crab boat, Ed, or can it just be, a boat that was meant to be a crab boat at one point?
You made it sound like a haunted crab boat.
Yeah. You're right. Something about it. Maybe because the mall is abandoned, the crab boat was also abandoned. Haunted crab boat. Sounds like a Scooby-Doo thing. I'd go the abandoned mall though, yeah. But if you do the abandoned mall, then you always have the Night of the Living Dead type thing happening. So let's see. Paul Sotera says, "What size tank does Skull like to keep his goodyids in? Goodyids or goodayids?"
Goodayids is probably the correct way, but
is it? I hear both ways. I didn't know. I always say goodyids.
Kind of like beta beta.
Gotcha. Okay.
You know?
There's a proper way, and then there's the way everybody says it.
The one I love to hear is when people say the Xenotoka Doidroy. And some of the pronunciations of that is like, I don't see where you got that from, but
I don't think I even tried, did I? I remember you sent me the email with the names and stuff, and you said you would come up and actually pronounce it for me.
Yeah, I think you waited for me.
Yeah, I think so too.
Still have
I was like,
two of the latest ones I got from Greg. I look at that name thinking, "Boy, I need to practice on that."
What is it? Can you do it?
One of them is Antonobius toweri.
Oh, okay.
Which is the blue tail goodid. And the other one is Alfaro caltratus. It's the knife live bearer. And I have fried from all these.
Say it again. Alfaro caltratus?
Caltratus.
Alpha. Ooh.
Yeah. Alfaro.
Excuse me. And there's George. What's up, Mexicali? Chris George. Oh, Chris's Aquazone is Chris George. I'm so sorry, Chris George. I thought it was Plushy because
he changed his name
Chris as well.
He changed his name at Aquashella.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm sorry, Chris. I should have known that. Because I can't really see the icons. They're pretty small on my screen. I can't really see them. So I apologize, Chris. And I like it. Chris's Aquazone. It's good. Yeah, I like it. George Mexicali says, "Please thank Curtis on my behalf. He has been a big supporter since day one. We never met, but I appreciate his support, and thank you, Curtis." You know what? He's right, and I want to say thank you too, because you've always been very supportive of. I see you all over the place, and you're always positive comments. I see you leaving comments on people's videos. You're one of those people that the Fish Fam needs more of. It reminds me of people like CJ Black. She does the same thing. Always leaving positive comments. Mary Page. I mean, there's so many of them that are. They're never involved in any of the drama. They're just supportive. We need more people like you, Curtis, in the Fish Fam.
I try not to be any drama, anytime.
Me too, but I do. I get involved, and it's my own damn fault. The apostrophe is not always seen. Yeah, because Bex, Chris, yeah. Yours is right, though. So, same with Bex. Let's see. Skull is new local Austin approved.
I'm glad to hear that, Michael.
Nano Aquarium Guy says, "Your favorite local fish store? Do you have any fish stores that you consider local?"
Nope, no fish stores except for a Petco, and that's not a favorite.
So all of your fish have pretty much come from either like people like Greg Sage or online?
Yeah.
And who do you like to buy from online? Do people like Greg Sage or very specific, or are they people that have regular stores like a Dan's Fish or something like that?
In the last 4 or 5 years, it's all been Greg.
Okay.
But I'm going to buy some from KGE because he's got a few things I don't have.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So I've met Keith a few times. KJ, he doesn't live too far from me.
I'm always just trying to add to the collection.
And, not to rub it in, but he will be at the Keystone Clash.
Yeah.
Just saying, could have saved some shipping money. Hey, Robert. Ray's Aquatics came in. It jumped on me. Okay. Steven, what's up? He said, "What's Skull's favorite aquascape at Shella?"
Oh.
We had the 2 different aquascaping contests. Did you have one that really stood out to you out of all of those?
I like the small scape that Grant did with the Dragonstone.
Steven's crushed. Because he was right up there too with him, I don't know that I even saw the end of that, to be honest. I watched that stream and I don't remember. I don't remember seeing Grant's finished product. I'll have to go back and look.
His was on the end.
Yeah.
On the right side.
I know he was hogging the bucket. It
was just something.
Bucket.
Yeah, I was sitting there in the front row watching that.
Yeah. See, that's what's cool too, is you're sitting there in the front row. You're in Dallas.
Stage.
What's that?
Watching him beat the stage with that hammer.
Oh yeah, he actually put a hole in it. That's what Rob said. I don't know if it was true, but it was cool because you're right there. You're watching it right there. I'm way up here, upstate New York, watching it right with you, and getting to enjoy it. So I love that they're doing that. Kelly demands I come to her house and get her hammered.
Hammered.
One of these days, Kelly. Okay, here we go. Whips World, what's up, dude? He says, money's not an issue. You hit the lottery, whatever it is. You've got all the money you ever want. You were born at whatever. What are you doing with your life that makes you happy? You don't have to work another day in your life. You've got all the income you could ever want. What are you doing with your life?
I'll be traveling the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Japan first.
Japan, Germany, all the places that I'll probably never see. Australia, New Zealand.
I love the idea of travel. I think it's very important for people to experience other cultures, even within the United States. Even though we're pretty much homogenized now, ever since the the interstates and stuff, we really are. But there's still very distinct cultures within the United States, even. And I know people that have lived their whole lives in the same little tiny town here in upstate New York, and they think the people that live in the next town over are the weirdest people they've ever met.
Oh.
And I'm like, they're exactly like you. I can't even tell you guys apart in any way, and they're like, oh no, if you live over there, you're weird. And I'm like, dude, it's like 10 miles. They're probably your cousins.
Yeah.
It's weird. Travel's important.
I have people I work with that to go to a town 3 hours away. That's like a weekend vacation. And I'm like blasting through that town going somewhere else.
Yeah, I have to admit that I do that though, because like I said, I don't like to travel. We usually try to find some place that's away from people. So, and we have the Adirondacks that are right by us here. And the Adirondacks are a beautiful, beautiful state park that's bigger than most. It's like bigger than the largest 5, 6, 7 national parks combined. It's a massive area, and it's just absolutely beautiful. So it's not that far away. We go there quite often. Let's see. Greg, Glassbox Garden, says, does Skull have any of Greg Sage's Odessa barbs, and are they as beautiful as they are in the videos?
I don't have any, not yet, but they're better looking in person than they have been on any video. They're phenomenal.
That's one I don't have. I don't have any Odessa barbs. I have some different barbs, which I lost one today. In fact, never mind.
His are not the color that you'll ever see in a fish store or anywhere. His are selectively bred to those colors, and they're outstanding.
Got you.
I put a picture up. I think it was on Lefty's screen, and there were comments in the chat about it's got to be photoshopped, and it was like, no, I took it with this. I don't know how to Photoshop, so
yeah. Wait, let me see that case again. Show that again. I have the same exact. What is that? Is that a Samsung Note?
No, this is an iPhone.
Oh, okay. I have that same exact case on my Note.
Yeah.
That's the exact case. Scotty the Fish Freak says, I'm back. Start over. No. Hi, Scotty. What's up, man? Ed said the boat was meant to be a crab, but it's your boat, so you can do anything you want. A boat that was meant to be a crab. I think about this all the time. He said.
That sounds even weirder than a haunted boat.
Gina wants to know if you've ever done a saltwater tank.
Oh, yeah. I did for like 10 years.
What kind of stuff did you keep in the saltwater world? I mean, you have to run through all of them, but what are some of your favorites?
It started as just like live rock only. And then I had mainly leather corals and mushrooms. Super simple stuff.
Gotcha.
But I had a black Niger trigger fish, and I had the It's called a Fu Manchu lionfish,
Yeah.
and he's
Does it
called
have?
out. It actually has like fins that look like a Fu Manchu, but he didn't.
Nice.
They're a miniature version, so they only get about 5 inches.
Oh, gotcha.
He still
Oh,
has
that's cool.
all the big fluffy fins and everything, but he stays small.
Yeah. I would like that. You were mentioning Greg Sage and how he really focused and bred those Odessa barbs, and that sort of planted a seed a little bit. I was thinking, maybe that's what I do is I sort of maybe get hyper focused. I mean, I've been all about community tanks for these first few years, but maybe I little by little pare those down and try and find one or two, and really just try and, because I don't try to breed at all. If they breed, they breed. I've had different things breed other than the guppies, obviously. Those are, but interesting. Sorry, it was an aside there. I just thought about it. I think I might go that route. Maybe that's what my future holds. Is really just being hyper focused on one or two.
Well, and that's kind of what I did, because I did the communities.
Yeah.
I raised guppies and everything for my local fish store before he retired. Then I got into saltwater, and then I got into this. Just
Maybe that's a common thing. Maybe it is. A lot of us do that. We sort of we're spread out. We have all kinds of stuff. I mean, it's not obviously something we all do. I mean, look at people like Kenny and Danny, who are very experienced fish keepers and have just everything. Curious. Let's see. Nano Aquarium Guy has a great question. Favorite genre for movies, TV, books? Do you like to read? Do you like? Do you read for pleasure ever, or is it more informational? Or
the only genre I'm into is, of course, I'm from the Midwest, so it's westerns.
Gotcha. Okay. What's your favorite Western movie?
The latest one that's came out is the remake of The Magnificent Seven.
I don't know that I've seen. How long ago did that come out? A few years ago?
4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, maybe I did see that one.
Has Chris Pratt and a bunch of other people in it.
Okay. That's your current favorite. What about classic? Was there a classic one that stands out?
I like Clint Eastwood,
Yeah, those spaghetti westerns and
Pale Rider and all those shows. I don't watch a whole lot of movies because I'm either in here or I'm at the shop with the car or I'm doing something.
Yeah, you're not the kind of guy that sits still for a lot of time.
Not a lot.
Gotcha. Okay.
A lot of times when you see me chatting in the live stream, I'm probably still doing something.
Yeah. See, I can't. I have to focus on the chat because I miss so much. I feel bad sometimes because people say hi to me. I like the host to know I'm there, just because I want them to know that there's people supporting them, and that it's not that it's me specifically, but just there's another voice in the chat. But
I water change all the time while live streams are going on, and I'm still chatting.
Sometimes I do that. Yeah, sometimes. But I really do need to stay focused on the chat most of the time. Otherwise, I end up missing too much. Brookley Bell. And this is one that Brookley's been asking too for, I don't know, last few months at least. So do you have any weird talents physically? And she doesn't mean that like it sounds. She means a good example. She put double jointed, wiggling your ears, gymnastics skills. I mean, is there anything like that? Do you have any weird double jointed stuff? Anything going on?
No, nothing like that. I'm ambidextrous.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, I can do both hands. I can write with both hands, do whatever with both hands.
And do you still favor one or the other, or is it very close to equal?
I favor the right when I'm actually writing. Okay. But if I'm working on something, I can use my left to run wrenches and screwdrivers and whatever.
Not me. I am definitely not one of those. Let's see. All right, I'm scrolling down again. I'm looking for the @Rico stand, so it just pops out orange on that black background for me. And if I didn't get your question, now I got to scroll back up because it just jumped on me again. There we go. Brookley Bell at 8:11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time was the last one I saw there. So if your question was somehow in there and I missed it, please just repost it again for us. And we are at 8:25, and you're still good with time. You don't need to. I mean, you had a few beers. You need to go to the bathroom or anything. You don't want to tap that keg yet. Okay,
I'm good.
Just making sure. Just make the guests be comfortable. Okay, so let's see. There we go. Paul Sotera. I picked up a trio of blue tail goodies at Louisville. At least one is from Greg Sage. Still don't know what size tanks Curtis keeps them in. Oh yeah, that was his question too. What size? Yeah.
20s and 29s, 20 talls.
Okay.
But
okay, you
like
that.
They'll eventually all end up in 29s when they're adults.
And what do you feel comfortable? How many do you feel comfortable putting in a 29?
Well, for me, I'd have 50 or 60 in there, but I wouldn't feel comfortable telling anybody else to do that.
Sure. I got you. Yeah.
10, 12 at the most. Because they're bigger fish. At least.
And what is it about that footprint that you like the most? Is it just how it fits in your room? Is it just the best for that, or?
And it doesn't take up as much room.
Gotcha. Okay.
I tell a lot of people, instead of tins, if I could buy those 15-gallon tall ones that Aquatics makes, because they only take up 13 inches and you get 15 gallons.
Gotcha.
I could breed the crap out of stuff in a bunch of those. But they bought like $120 for one of them.
Why? They're just different. I mean, is that why they're so expensive, you think?
Yeah, and they're never in the sale.
Yeah.
And they always want to sell them. They always want to sell them in a kit, so you get the cheap light and the bad filter.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a tall tank, and they give you a
crappy heater.
They give you this. I don't know, it doesn't even come with a heater.
No. They
give you this hang on the back that has the input's only about that long, so it's like this far from reaching the bottom.
Yeah.
So I usually just chuck that in the trash.
I have to admit, though, when I came back to fish keeping, I did buy a kit. Actually, we had a couple of tanks in the basement that I remembered, and I had the kids bring those up. But then I bought a, I don't know, it was 20-gallon. Yeah, 20-gallon kit from Amazon, just because I'm lazy and I don't like to go to the store. So let's see. Next one up, we got Jenna P. How many cameras did you have to hold for people at Aquashella? Was it a common thing? You were holding the camera for people?
I did a few times, but it was usually just for a few minutes. But Vibes, I actually was the cameraman when he walked around.
Oh, gotcha. I missed those videos from Vibes. I need to go back and watch them.
It was funny because it was the two of us, and there was like nobody in there, so we're just kind of wandering around.
See, talking
to Papa Shrimp and to Sam Scales and whoever else we came across. And
I do need to watch.
Is a big outgoing personality, so he had no problem walking right into people's booths and saying, "Hey, what the heck is that?"
Gotcha.
He's awesome.
That is exactly what Chattanooga Ed does when he's usually there. He'll do the stream. I'll feed him the questions from the chat, and we walk around and people can look at whatever they want to and see things. So I absolutely love that. So I definitely need to go back to that. Let's see. Oh, Lady Diane, hi there. Did you rodeo or 4-H as a kid?
I didn't rodeo much.
FFA?
No, I had enough of that in the real world without playing with trying to raise a goat or a sheep.
Yeah.
No, that's what that is.
So it really wasn't much of a hobby then, or something you wanted to really get into outside.
You grew up that, it's a job.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get more of them to make more work.
Yeah. It's a good way to put it. Because I did do FFA. I was going to be a forest ranger. So that was one of the things that suggested I get into the FFA stuff. And I mean, it was okay. I enjoyed it, but I didn't grow up on a farm. I mean, by the time I was in my 20s, I'd never visited a farm even.
Yeah. My parents lived in the city. I mean, my mom still lives here, but it was every weekend and all summer. That's where we were. I remember being like 5 or 6 years old and painting the fence around the garden. Wax on, wax off.
Yeah. We did stuff like that at my grandpa's house, but it wasn't a farm. It was just a normal house. So we would help out though and do a lot of chores, but it wasn't farm chores. It was other types of things. Painting though, you said painting. That's what reminded me of it. We did that. Yeah. I remember my grandpa got super mad at my brother for messing up some painting job. I don't remember what. It was on a fish tank. That's right, because my brother was very artistic, and my grandpa had a fish tank. I can see it now. It was in the in the kitchen by the dining room table, and he wanted my brother to paint some like penguins or something on the end of it, and my brother did a really, really bad job, and my grandpa was mad. He was so mad at him. Geez, I had to be like 5, maybe less. Grant said, "Hey, I met Skull this weekend. What a great guy."
Yep.
All right, so I'm scrolling down. I'm missing a lot of it. Let's see. Eric Wyrock, skulls, and here's another one. Tradition question, I should say. Let's see. Eric Wyrock says, "What is Skull's favorite sandwich?"
Oh, that's easy. That's a BLT.
Really?
Yeah.
I would have thought you were more of a meaty kind of guy, like a big, I don't know, brisket or something. I don't know why.
Because I see so many of them every day.
Maybe Kansas, just a car guy, the mechanical. I don't know why. It sounds like somebody would.
I don't mind one. I just like a BLT.
Yeah, that does sound good.
And what do you? Everybody's asking me all the time about, don't you get good deals on meat? And it was like, oh yeah, you can buy a box, but you have to buy a box, and it's like 80 pounds.
Yeah.
So you can imagine if you get 80 pounds of ribeye, what that box costs.
Yeah. Now, on your BLT, what's on it? I mean, obvious, but besides that, is there anything? Is it really is there butter if you toast the bread, is it butter?
Just mayonnaise.
Okay. All right.
It's nice and
I'm
plain.
just curious. Every once in a while I hear, somebody put something weird on a BLT, a different, like honey mustard dressing or something. And so I was just curious. Josie Wales, Fishymon said, yeah, that's a great movie. Yeah, I love Josie Wales. I just absolutely love that one. Watched it so many times.
Yeah, most of those I have on disc.
I love those. High Plains Drifter, a few dollars more, Fistful of Dollars, Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. All of those. Did you ever watch a series called They Call Me Trinity?
Yeah.
They were definite spaghetti westerns, and they were funny. Very funny too.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. Verily wants to know if you're a fried or scrambled egg guy. A lot of food questions.
Fried over easy.
Man, I'm hungry. What did I eat dinner? I don't remember now. Okay. All right. Still scrolling down. Again, if I don't see the at Rico stand, I'm just sort of, skipping over it. So please do that for me. I know it's a little bit of a pain if you're on a phone. There we go. Ed wants to know if you like Red Skull or Skeletor better. Red Skull is from Captain America. He was, one of his villains, and Skeletor's from the He-Man cartoon.
I wouldn't have any idea.
Joke's on you.
Yeah, I don't watch any of it.
Okay. And you know what? It looks like I'm at the bottom of the chat. Brookley says I put caramelized onions on my BLT. That sounds good. Oh yeah. Craig Doniger, what's going on? Audra Meyer. So many cool people. 65 people still watching. Thank you all guys for coming in. I think we got everything. I'm at the bottom of the chat. Skull, I think it's a good time. It's 8:30. Terrence Hill, you are old. Brother Dan, you're right there with me, man. Brother Dan, we share a birthday even. Terrence Hill, yep, he remembers. I love when he slaps the guy. He he's gonna do a gunfight or something, and he like I don't know, he slaps the guy, puts his gun back in his pocket, and he didn't put it in his holster, spins it around, slaps the guy, put it back. It's just hilarious. And you know what's weird? Every time I watch one of those westerns, though, I always get I'm just gonna say it, a hankering for like beans and a big hunk of bread. You know, like every time. And I don't even like beans, but every time I watch a western, it's almost like campfire type food. Okay.
As long as it's not like Blazing Saddles beans.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's a great scene. And that's another great movie too. Of course, it's not. I guess it's a western. Lady Diane says, "Skull, Fish Fam appreciates you very much." And again, like I said, Dee Dee said the same thing. It's always cool learning about cool peeps. Skull is one of my faves. I just really love seeing the positivity. You know what I mean? We do have our problems within the Fish Fam and our fights and our drama. Again, I've been involved. I hate it, but I get in there sometimes. And so when I do see people like yourself that go out of their way to support other people, I just really appreciate it. You know, and those are also the kind of people that I've brought up on the Focus On more so. I really try to focus on you guys because I want people to know you. I want them to see the good side of our community, and I believe that you're one of those people. I have no problems. It's just Rico. What's that? I have no problems. It's just Rico. Oh, gotcha. They're out there. All right. Again, I'll ask again real quick. Is anything we didn't talk about that you think is important that people should know about you, or is there anything you got that you're working on that people should know, or any of that? It's sort of your time. You can anything you want to talk about or bring up, you can.
No, I just have all the ones I've mentioned in the past and have them breeding. I'm still like my Amica Splendens are still growing up because the ones I got were super small. They're probably 6 months away. And so sometime in September, I'm going to go back to Denver. Probably get a few more buckets of something.
Buckets of something.
Yeah.
What's going on there? What's buckets of something from Denver?
Because that's where Greg lives, outside of Denver.
Oh, okay. I was confused. For some reason, I was thinking. I thought you said he lived east of you for some reason. So no. I wasn't. It wasn't. Yeah.
No, he's west of me. But the buckets goes back to I walked in and it was like the way I control myself in there is I only have 2 buckets or I only have 3 buckets. Right? Okay. I can't go too crazy because I'm not going to mix species in buckets.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, I have it under control this time. I only brought 2 buckets. And he starts laughing. He points in the corner, and there must be 15 buckets stacked up. Like, don't worry about having enough buckets. Just worry about enough money.
That's good. And when nowadays when people say they're going to Denver with and bringing home a bucket of something, you never know what they're talking about. So
that's true.
Let's see. I see Kenny. What's going on, Kenny? I don't know if I said hi to you earlier. There was another super chat, I think, too. Hopefully I got everybody's super chats. Thank you for those. Thank you for the member messages. Thank you for everything. Thank you for being here. McStreamy Crew will make sure to send everyone over to the stream tomorrow. What time is that, too? So that's Ivy's birthday party on Gina's stream tomorrow night. Oh, and tonight you got your normal lineup, but then also Eric Furlow is doing a stream tonight, I believe. Actually, right now. It might be right now. I think he said he was starting at 8:30. So it's been a while since we've seen Eric Furlow, and he didn't do a Sunday stream, but you guys should check him out. We also have, Scruffy City. He's streaming. A whole bunch of people streaming still. So thanks, everybody, for being here, and we will see you guys when we see you. And if I don't see you tomorrow, Bunny Viper, happy birthday. Appreciate you.
Happy birthday, Bunny.
All right, we'll see you guys later. Thanks for being here. I'm clicking the button. Button clicking.